Greetings and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Elizabeth Kowalski and I'm the founder and director of Charlotte New Music and Your Neighborhood Orchestra. We are comprised of local professional musicians, composers, and songwriters. And to put on this series that you're about to watch, we've collaborated with some top folks in the dance scene, and we really wanted to have a strong representation of the diverse landscape of original music and dance from our local community of Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you for tuning in and for hanging out with us, being an amazing audience and supportive community for what we do, especially after this year-long cancellation that put our industries to sleep. But we've been anything but asleep, and we've been feeling, we've been empathizing, we've been absorbing, and we've been expressing and creating. And we built up this like roaring fire of expression that we really want to share with you guys, and we can't wait to do that in the same space for now, which is right here. We were supposed to get together in person for concerts, but we had to turn it into a virtual experience. Many thanks to ASC's Culture Blocks program, which provided a good base to make that possible. Culture Blocks is a community partnership between ASC, Charlotte Mecklenburg Library, and Mecklenburg County Park and Recreation to bring arts and cultural experiences closer to where residents live, in this case, in your living room, in your car, wherever you're watching from. And Culture Blocks is funded by Mecklenburg County, which is where the city of Charlotte is. So what you're about to see now is one of the results of us having to adapt and go virtual. So I envisioned and I constructed and carried out this whole thing with an outstanding crew and incredible colleagues who also feel the same way. And we didn't want this to be regular live stream, but we wanted to kind of construct an amazing visual and music experience for us to share in this way that we're in right now. So without further ado, I present to you the first song on this live stream, written by Arghya Bhattacharya and performed by Amrita Biswas, and the orchestral arrangement by Travis Railsbeck, who is a fine composer, an old UNC Greensboro classmate of mine. Darmian is the name of the song. Darmian. It's about loving someone, far away or nearby. How words are often the primary pillar of support, and how complex feelings can get skewed by the lack of or too many words. And words can create even more distance. Sometimes we talk too much. And how often do we listen? Do we communicate without words enough? Words are just one way of expressing. So I hope you enjoy the experience. I hope it gives you some food for thought. You're about to see some beautiful creators who live and work in our area who've put something together pretty magical for you guys.
बरस हुए आज कभी यूं ही पास बैठे ये दूरियां बढ़ती रही और हम रहे लफ्जों में उलझे फिर मिले किस्मत से जो पल रोक लेना हम सफर सांसों के दरमियां खामोश ये पल लफ्ज भी उछल उलझे ख्वाहिशें जुबां में खामोश ये पल लफ्ज भी उछल उलझे ख्वाहिशें जुबां में
So, how did this experience make you feel?
It's wonderful. This is my first time going with orchestra, live orchestra. We did once with quartet last year, but this is my first time with such a big orchestra. So it's wonderful. It's amazing.
Yeah. And so I noticed that this is very much kind of Eastern and Western.
Absolutely.
Was that challenging or fun? How does that strike you?
It was challenging, but it was something new, and I guess we artists, we love new challenges, aren't we? So that's what motivates us. So of course, I took it as a challenge, and I did it. Now let's see.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot have been talked about the pandemic, all the negative side. Keeping all this aside, I think this is the best time for all the artists to rejuvenate, to think something out of the box, to go. I think this is one of them, right? The project we did today. I think this is a wonderful time to practice, to in Indian music we call it riyaz. So we practice, self-practice, and come up with new things, new ideas, yes.
So tell me a little bit about the song.
So what came up to my mind is some kind of a rhythm and some kind of a melody, which is going to be subtle, but at the same time, it has to be slow and soft, but not going to be boring. And
Right.
it's going to be like exciting at every point of time. And then I try to bring in the classical and that the Hindustani classical and the ghazal feel here, but try to keep the arrangements or try to keep the rhythm a little modern. You can just put in videos, different kind of people featuring like exactly what we did here in with the Charlotte music.
And tell
Yeah.
us like what is the meaning? What's the feeling and the meaning behind the song? Like
Yeah, so the song is pretty much like if you go by the lyrics, it's pretty much about a girl who just kind of like had a relationship with a boy, and then what happened is that like once the relationship went on, so it became some kind of boring stuff. Like each one of them, they started losing interest on each other. That's how the lyrics was built upon, and then that's how the original picturization was done. But then later on down the line, she decided, you know what, it's not working out. I need to move out. And but at the point when she realized, he also realized that, hey, you know what, I think we need to come to some kind of a conclusion, some kind of a consensus. Let's get to an agreement. But
Right.
by the time took that step, it got too late, and then she had to leave. So that's kind of a ending on a sad note, but it
right.
is what it is, right?
It is.
Just showing kind of a relationship
Right.
issues. And
Wow, what a powerful song. So thank you so much for this. What is next for you? Like what do you have going on as an artist, as a creator of music?
yeah, I've got a couple of work going on, and there's like in different languages from India. And then I'm also trying to do some English songs, some Western
Mhm.
songs. So just
Yeah.
like need to collaborate with someone here,
Right.
and maybe just kind of like have my some of my songs which I feel very contemporary, and we can just bring into put in Western lyrics, right?
Right.
Like here in this side of the world, what happens is you have songwriter, right? So
Mhm.
songwriter is someone who is writing the lyrics, writing the rhythm, creating the melody. But usually, what happens is on our side of the world,
Mhm.
in India,
Yeah.
there's like it's the roles are pretty defined. So who are
Interesting.
the person who is so very rarely you'll see a lyrics writer and a composer being the same person.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This is going to be great, and can't wait to see what you come up with next. Tell me about your process when you're arranging it.
I wanted to try to stay pretty true to the original song because I just really liked it a lot, but make it more sound like a movie soundtrack, I guess, with
Mhm.
strings. But I listened to it like hundreds of times. I
Mhm.
chose that. I really liked how it sounded, and I was like, I'm gonna have to listen to this over and over and over again. So I want it to be something I like.
Yeah.
Um, Very peaceful. I dictated like a bunch of the melodies
Mhm.
and chords, and then just sort of like thought, okay, how do I want to line this up? How do I want to expand it? What's it going to sound like with these combinations of instruments? There's guitar in the original, kind of a lot of the time. So I kind of gave all the guitar elements to the harp, and I just love the sound of the harp.
That's amazing. And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started a band now that we're all getting our vaccines, just like a
Hmm.
rock band for fun.
Right.
Um, and we do some like some 80s covers, some contemporary covers. We haven't done original music yet, but that's in the works. And that's just something really fun to try to help us keep sane, just get
Hmm.
out on Sunday afternoon. And then after that, I go to gamelan rehearsal, which is just a really loose collection of people at the local university that like to play gamelan, and I find that to be really fun, completely different type of thing to do. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you for working with us on the arrangement. This has been really a beautiful collaboration that you guys did, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you.
Bye.
So many thanks to all of the collaborators who made that happen. It's just a beautiful thing when people come together, like really come together and leave egos at the door and just create for a bigger purpose. Um, anyway, one thing I forgot to mention is that we have a tip jar actually, and all of our tips are going directly to Roof Above, and they've been doing amazing work with people who are homeless in our community. So if you want to give, you can go to our website, which is yourneighborhoodorchestra.com. You'll see the tip jar at the top of that, or you can just text. You can text the word give, and you can text it to 704 266 1626. Again, that would be the phone number is 704 266 1626. And you would text the word give. And you can donate any amount, whatever we get, we're just passing it right along to Roof Above. So thank you so much for doing that, and we hope we can help them out. They've been pretty maxed out on capacity of what they've been able to do, and they need to hire more people. They need more space for people. It's a lot. This pandemic has really done a lot to a lot of things. So thank you for participating in support of that. Next up, we have a song called Star-Crossed Love, and that is by Von Hunter, arranged for orchestra by Treya Nash, and accompanied by ballet dancer Sarah Hayes Harkins. And this song is about love on the other end of the spectrum of the last song. It's, talking about a divine happenstance, gravitational pull to someone with the right energy, understanding, and they can see you, and how love is something bigger than just one person, than the both of us. How a conscious dream could really manifest and become physical, like a lot of things that get dwelled on or dreamed about. manifestation is real. Anyway, I won't keep you guys held up too much, but I hope you enjoy the beautiful presentation of the next piece.
When our moons crossed paths, fell into your gravity and never left. And since then, time and light, when we're mingling again, oh, your smoothest surface complements my roughest edge. It was magical, maybe mystical. How a conscious dream could become physical. And as below, so above. Heavens touch together in the star-crossed love. Collided, we made a sound of love vibrating, waving all around. Sometimes unstable, but we keep going round. We were meant to meet on common ground. I see right through you, right to your core, and you see within me even more, yeah. It's bigger than the both of us, our earth and heavens touch together in a star-crossed love. Whoa. Yeah, yeah.
So that was fantastic. That was really, really cool. What if y'all could just introduce yourselves real quick and what you both did on that.
Well, my name is Vaughn, and I wrote the song,
Okay.
Star-Crossed Love. Yeah, I was the songwriter.
Great.
Hi, my name's Treya, and I was the arranger for Star-Crossed Love.
Okay, that sounded absolutely fantastic. How did it feel? How did it feel to sing with an orchestra, just to do it just now? How are you feeling right now?
I feel great. Like, you know, I kind of took it as like a adventure, just because, you know, I've never had that song put to an orchestra before. So, like, I kind of just went with the flow. and everything sounded great. The band was great, you know.
Yeah.
All good.
How did it feel to finally hear it live in a room?
I mean, I think my favorite part about hearing it was hearing Vaughn sing it live, because, you know, I've heard the recorded version a lot, but, you know, having this kind of fully arranged version and then hearing you sing over it was just like really great. And you know, I was really happy with those counter melody ideas that you gave me. I think they worked really well with the main melody, so, you know, thanks for that.
No problem. Well, that's awesome. So there's a little bit of collaboration with it from the whole thing. That's fantastic. What where did this song come from for you for writing it?
Well, I wrote this song like many years ago. I'd say maybe like close to 15 years ago. You know, being in a relationship, you know, imagining that, you know, just two people just wandering about their own business and being caught up in each other. And that's pretty much what the song is about. You know, it's about love.
Yeah. Now, I mean, a song 15 years old, I mean, how does it feel to hear it in a different way or let it grow or anything like that? Is there a different feeling you have with it, the song now that you've had it for so long?
No, it's not really a different feeling about it. Like, you know, there's probably going to be many different interpretations of that song, you know, even within myself. So I was very happy with the orchestra arrangement version of that song.
Yeah. I thought it sounded fantastic to hear the whole thing just now. It was great. What's kind of your background in arrangement?
Well, I haven't done a whole lot of arranging, but I have had some experiences with it. I arranged for orchestra one time before with the Hey Mozart project that Alejandro Ruti does in Greensboro, and that's where they get kids from different local schools to submit a melody. So it was kind of similar in a way, but, you know, also very different because this is a whole song, and so, you know, it's a different process, but I mean, every time I get to do it, I just think it's such an amazing learning experience because, you know, I mean, to really be able to balance things in an orchestra is very challenging, and every time I do it, I learn a lot, and every time I do it, I'm like, oh, so many things I should have done differently, because you never really know until you hear it what's really going to work.
Right.
Unless you're like, you know, Alejandro Ruti, and then you do.
Well, I have to say, what we heard in there, it sounded fantastic. I think you did great work. So congrats to both of you on that. I think it sounded great, and I can't wait to hear the recorded version and see the dancing as well with it. It should be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it, and I'm going to get a small say in the kind of mix of it as well, which I'm really excited to hear that.
That'll be great. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Sean Smith, correct? You were the conductor for a lot of this today.
I was.
You did phenomenal work.
I was actually talking to one of the singer-songwriters we were working with this weekend, and I just said, it's probably a lot easier doing this with a band, right, than doing it with 16 orchestra members, right? It's a completely different thing, but that's what really makes it exciting.
Yeah. So when you come in with something like this, where there's so many pieces going around, what's one of the first things that you do, you know, coming in, taking a piece of music like that?
Well, the first thing I do is I'll get a score. So all the arrangers, sent me scores of what I was going to conduct, and so I look at the score. I see, who is going to be playing. Every piece has different musicians and instruments that are used, and so I just try to start to make sense of the score in and of itself before I actually kind of even get into the song. So I get some sense going in of what the piece is going to sound like. And then for these, I was really grateful to be able to have some YouTube videos and things so I could actually hear the artists singing because it's very different. I conduct bands and orchestras all the time. It's just a different process working with, singer-songwriters and all these different styles of music. And so it was great to be able to hear those live performances and kind of just hear the inflections in the voice and all the stuff that goes into making great music. And so then I just kind of marry the score that I'm looking at with what I'm hearing, and then just just try to bring to life the orchestration that's done by the different composers.
Wow, I mean, I have to say this entire process that I've got to either being on that floor with you or sitting backstage and watching it, you've done a fantastic job. It's been really great.
Well, thank you. It's I'll tell you, it's a thrill to be able to be a part of the project. You know, Elizabeth asked me the last time we did this a couple years ago, and I thought it was really an interesting idea and concept back then, and you know, just nothing I've ever quite been a part of before. You know, this many different styles of music, you know, jazz and hip hop and metal and you know, Americana and just all kinds of from piece to piece. Everything's completely different. Bollywood, like I've never conducted Bollywood before. That was great, and so just so many different experiences. And I just love the fact that we are bringing together musicians that don't normally work together.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's such a great, especially now when there's just so much division in society and there's just so much, you know, turmoil, it seems like. So this idea of bringing all these different groups together and people together in styles and in ways that they're not used to, I think it's really a beautiful thing. I wish that, you know, we could kind of just spread that out into the world, yeah, and that we could all kind of see each other in that light. I think that's everything.
Well, I think this is almost a perfect analogy for all that, right? I mean, I could say coming in, I was a little nervous and uncomfortable, but trusting of all these people that some of them I didn't even know who they were, didn't even get a chance to meet them, and by the end of it, we got across it and did something that was magical. Absolutely. And you steered the ship. So
well, that was absolutely my pleasure. And I'll tell you that I know that the musicians felt the same way that you did. Like it wasn't just you being nervous. I think all of us had the kind of nervous energy of, wow, this is different and exciting and terrifying and like all of that stuff together. Isn't that what really makes art?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's life.
That's it. Yeah. Well, I really like on a personal note. Thank you so much for what you did with my song. I really appreciate it, but also thanks and congratulations for being a part of this project.
Absolutely,
it was really wonderful. So thank you.
It's my pleasure, and thank you.
So, what's your process like when you started listening to this piece? Did you do anything different that you usually don't do?
Probably not too different from what I normally do, which is always like listen to the music first and take a lot of my inspiration off of that and off of what the music makes me feel. I think dancing for me has always been music related and music inspired, so choreography is kind of the same for me. And I just take what I feel in the moment, and a lot of times I'll improvise on the spot and then just take what comes out of my body and try to like tailor it specifically afterwards.
So some of the movements that you did, I mean, can you explain any of those? I mean, do they mean anything, or are they like, I don't know, significant? I mean, other than being beautiful.
I probably not so meaningful as far as the actual movements, except for that it's what my body wanted to do. I mean, dance is such a broad subject, and like, yeah, I have classical training and that's my base, and right. I always kind of end up going back to classical movement, but I also have like what is natural to me. Right. And as a choreographer, I think I'm trying to hone in on what my aesthetic is, and then like pick out the things that I find that I repeat or I do frequently, and then play off of those when I'm building a phrase.
So I noticed you were doing a lot of hand stuff, and it was amazing. And I don't typically see a lot of ballerinas doing that.
I love hand gestures, so it's kind of cool that you noticed that.
And what is, like, I mean, is that something you've worked on, or how did you feel like interpreting that? I mean, what was that going on in your head?
I don't know. I guess I think that's one of the things that I do naturally whenever I'm coming up with movement, and I'll always end up having some sort of gestural phrase and then build off of that and kind of blow it out as much as I can. So yeah, and especially when music is really rhythmic and has like a steady beat, I always end up feeling like it's easy for me to use my hands to like make the music make sense in my brain. I don't know.
Cool.
That makes sense.
All right, gang. Well, it has been a real pleasure hanging out with you again. Thank you so much again. I know I say that a lot, but I really don't take your attendance for granted. I hope that this has been worthwhile, and I hope that you have been led through an experience that has been interesting and beautiful and worth your effort on tuning in. So there are 2 more of these. In a couple Sundays, there's one, and then a couple Sundays from that, there's one. So every other Sunday at 1 p.m. we go live. And you can sign up on the website, yourneighborhoodorchestra.com. And that sign up will give you some updates on more performances that come up even after these live streams, more in-person stuff that we're planning. And we will have an album, sheet music available for sale for all the songs in our series. And if you want to be notified when that becomes available, which should be pretty soon, you can also sign up and check that box there as well. So next up is May 30th, Sunday, May 30th at 1 p.m. is Pete Lentz and Young Citizen. And then Sunday, June 13th at 1 p.m. is Mercury Carter and Lisa DeNovo. And stay tuned for some more amazing collaborations by people in our local area. You know, you don't have to travel very far to see some really amazing things. And, you know, it's worth the effort to really just dig deep and support local music, support local dance. Really just, you got to look for it though. It's not going to be easy to find right away, but it's there. And if you ever get lost, you know, feel free to reach out to one of us, and we're happy to point you in the right direction, show you some people to follow, or you can kind of get some leads on where to go and who to see and what's going on. Like really, you know, don't just go for all the easy mass sold music and art, you know, looking to support your local community, shop local. And it's totally worth the experience. You're gonna have some amazing things that you find, I promise you. Till next time, thank you so much. Again, if you can donate to Roof Above through our tip jar, that would be amazing. Or you could text GIVE to 704-266-1626. That's 704-266-1626. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bye-bye, guys.
When our moons crossed paths, fell into your gravity and never left. And since then, time and light, when we're mingling again, oh, your smoothest surface complements my roughest edge. It was magical, maybe mystical. Our conscious dream could become physical. And as below, so above. Our earth and heavens touched together.